Hello, my name is Ioana, and in this video we will talk about creating and managing users in SalesRay. Users are employees of the company working with the system. Each employee must have their own username and unique password to log in. The use of unique users ensures that all of your employees' actions, such as creating, editing, cancelling or deleting documents, will be recorded correctly and if necessary can be tracked and verified. It is important to note that the user can be connected to the system from a single device. If you connect on two devices using the same username, the software will automatically disconnect the other previously opened session. Therefore, it is not a good idea for two people to work with the same username. Now let's take a look at the user interface. You will initially find two users in the list: the administrator and the SalesRay support user. The latter is a user which comes with the system and is used by your consultant. Prim support cannot be deleted and does not affect the total number of users in your company. The administrator has exclusive rights to basic domain settings and you're most likely currently logged in with it. In this interface, you can check and uncheck more options with additional information, so that you see, for example, in which roles your users participate and for which objects your users have rights and permissions. By rights, we mean price lists, accounts, warehouses, and offices. In the header, you have three fields where you filter the results that appear lower in the list. In the first field, you can search for certain users by their username or personal name. In the second field is the user type. There are 4 types in the system, but we will talk about them later on when I will show you how to create a user. In the third field, you can filter by one or more roles to see which users participate in them. The search is always activated by pressing the magnifying glass, while the X button is used to remove all filters. To create a new user, you press this button, and the interface where you need to enter the user data will open up. The first thing you need to fill in here is the type of user. Inactive users are users who do not use the ERP domain, but who you can register as responsible. A blocked user or reserved user is a user who doesn't have access to the system. These can be former employees of the company, for example. All actions that a blocked user performed before being blocked remain in the system and are available for the others to see. The active user is the one who works, connects to the system and uses it constantly. This is the most common type of user. The administrator, as mentioned earlier, is the key user in the system. They set up the domain, grant rights and permissions, and create users. After selecting the type, we move on to username. It can be written as you wish, but keep in mind that it cannot be changed once you have saved it. The next field is a password field, and as you can see, it's not mandatory as it is not marked with blue like a required field is. If you do not set a password, the user you created will be able to log into the system without a password. This can be useful when creating your first SalesRay users. If you leave the user without a password, please make sure to tell them where to set their password when they first log into the system. In the next field, you can specify the home page that your user will see every time they log into the ERP. Next, you can fill in the other required fields such as the first name and the last name, but also phone number, email address, or position in the company. Next settings are related to the emails. These are optional but should be completed if you want to be able to send emails, documents or events directly from the system. If you want to use this functionality, you need to fill in your username, password, port, mail server and signature. The signature is the text that will be attached at the end of all sent emails. Below this data, you can find a few columns for setting up the rights of the created users. The first column refers to roles. Here you can place the new user directly in one or more roles. The second column refers to offices, and here you determine whether the user will be able to see and work with the office. When it comes to warehouses, you can select if the user will be able to see them, to move stock in them, or be responsible for them. Similarly, with accounts, you can specify what accounts this user will be able to see, transfer money from, or be responsible for. In the POS column, you determine whether the user will be allowed to make transactions in your point of sale. All changes must be saved with the confirmation button, and the new user will be created. At this point, you can notify the employee that they can log into the system with their new username. You can also log in as that specific user to see if you have given all the necessary permissions you wanted them to have. Created users can be archived or reactivated. You can see the archived users by clicking this Show Archived, and they will appear in gray. The last feature of this interface is copying permissions. This is used when you have a new employee who has to have the same rights as one of your previous employees. The last two buttons in the header show more information. With the first button, you can see a graphic with all the system entries. With the second one, you can hide or show advanced searches. We hope that this information about working with users was helpful. Thank you for watching and have a productive day.